In Week 7 against the Bengals, the Steelers defense gave up 16 catches on 21 targets for 161 yards and a touchdown to Jamar Chase. In Week 11, he only had 3 catches on 10 targets for 30 yards. Here's how it happened. Go! In the first game against the Steelers, we saw Darius Slay lined up a lot against Jamar Chase, and this was a big issue for the Steelers. He got beat pretty consistently. In this clip, we're going to see these two locked up here again, and Deshaun Elliott is going to be sort of drifting off into this deep third. So he's going to get out of the play for the most part, and it's going to clear a lot of space here for Jamar Chase to work with. And we see him take advantage of that, and Flacco knows exactly where he wants to get the ball to. So if we let it roll here a little bit and we pause it, now we let it roll here a little bit more. Easy inside move, eyes locked on. Here's Jamar Chase, and obviously he's going to break this tackle from Darius Slay, and if Deshaun Elliott isn't there, that's an easy touchdown. The Steelers chose to run a lot of cover one man in this first meeting, and you see it here with Jalen Ramsey back at deep safety, and everyone's kind of locked up in man coverage out here, and this is Joey Porter Jr. this time on Jamar Chase, also locked up in man down here. You can tell also because you've got a linebacker out on a running back, but you've got Jamar Chase up here in the top against Joey Porter Jr., and watch what happens with these rub routes. The Bengals are going to come up and give some rub routes here, and Jamar Chase is going to come right underneath, making it a super easy throw. And the Steelers did a pretty poor job of actually shading to Jamar Chase's side, which I know is difficult because you've still got T. Higgins down here. But Jamar Chase was killing it. They probably should have adjusted a little bit earlier in this game. So we let this run. You see the rub routes happen up here. So Joey Porter Jr. is already behind the play, and Jamar Chase is sneaking inside. And as we let it continue to run, easy throw, lots of separation, huge gain for the Bengals. From the first meeting with Jamar Chase going off is a strange little cover two. And the reason it's strange is because you've got a linebacker out here playing the flat Thornhill, who's not even on the roster anymore, and we'll talk about that in the second meeting clips. And then Patrick Queen kind of dropping in this middle zone as well. From the receivers, you're going to get a clear out route here right down the middle, and then Jamar Chase is kind of filling in right behind. And Joey Porter Jr., as great as he's been this year, and Patrick Queen, with his ups and downs, pretty poor tackling here on Jamar Chase. So we'll let this run a little bit. You see right away you've got the clear out route and you've got Jamar Chase filling in, and you see everyone's eyes back on the quarterback for the most part. So this is definitely zone. And as we let it roll just a little bit more here, see the pass comes into Jamar Chase, and this should be an easy tackle. This should be easy, but Jamar Chase bounces right off Patrick Queen, right around Joey Porter Jr., and creates a little bit of an explosive play out of what should be a minimal gain. Quick break before we go into the last clip of the first game, and then we'll cover a couple clips in the second game too and how that changed. Just want to remind everyone to like and subscribe. We really appreciate all the support. Also, go make sure you check out our podcast platforms, where anywhere you listen to podcasts, ratings and reviews really help us grow there. And of course, our socials are linked in the bio. We're on X, TikTok, and Instagram. We're going to be doing a turnover of the week. This week was this Kyle Duggar interception. Looking forward to seeing you all on there. And with that, let's get back into it. The big play that kind of set the Bengals up in field goal range to win it. And you've got a big miscommunication here between Patrick Queen and Chuck Clark. Both of them come down and attack this running back. And this is a really simple route concept. This should not have been nearly as difficult for the Steelers to cover as it was, but here we are. So right away, you see again Jamar Chase coming across the formation. Both Patrick Queen and Chuck Clark immediately sprint down at this running back, and Jamar Chase is just left wide open. And this is just pitch and catch. This is incredibly easy. Look at how much space there is between Jamar Chase and the next nearest defender. This kind of miscommunication is something we'll talk about in the next couple of clips, because the second game was much better. This guy right here, James Pierre, because he played a phenomenal football game against Jamar Chase. I'm just going to let this clip roll and then we'll go back through in slow motion, but he's running with Chase stride for stride down the field and makes a phenomenal play on the ball down the field then. So if we go back to the beginning of this play here, we're going to see James Pierre get a pretty decent bump off of Jamar Chase, gets him off the line pretty decently, being physical right there. I like that. I like the physicality. But then as Chase gets down the field, he kind of runs right by Jalen Ramsey. So if we go back a little bit here, he kind of gives this little slight head fake, and Jalen Ramsey, I think, thinks he's going to go across the field. But instead, Jamar Chase cuts straight up and kind of beats Ramsey on this play. So it's up to James Pierre to make up the ground and get this pass breakup. And right at the height of the ball, I mean, look at that extension from James Pierre here. Look at that extension to get up to the ball. This is a phenomenal play. I think the Steelers need to play him more over Slay. We got to talk about is this man right here, Kyle Duggar. He's going to help over the top here on what is just a basic fade route to Jamar Chase. And even though James Pierre had a great day, he wasn't the only one that kind of stepped up. Joey Porter Jr. had a much better day against Jamar Chase as well. Forces the outside release, which is what you want, with the over-the-top help. And this makes it an incredibly difficult throw for Flacco. So you see there, great jam by Joey Porter Jr. Look at the way he knocks Chase back on this jam. And this is incredible right here. Just boom. Okay, love that. As they get down the field, turns the hips, starts running. He's stride for stride. And even if that ball is dropped in the bucket, look who's coming over to lay the boom again. There was a lot more interior pressure in this Week 11 game as well. You see Keanu Benton and Cam Hayward are right around the pocket, just kind of making it that much more difficult for Flacco to step into this ball. And as Jamar Chase comes across the field here and kind of clears Patrick Queen's zone, so he's going to get into this pocket here to be able to throw the ball. Watch Ramsey also drive on this thing. And we all know what happened with Jalen Ramsey, Jamar Chase. That's besides the point. But Ramsey's been a stabilizing force in the back end here. And this is a football play. I mean, that ball is hitting his hand, and within 1 or 2 steps, Ramsey lays the big shot. But let this play in real time because this is quite the hit here. So we'll let this play out and then move on to our last clip. So I know this was the intro clip as well, but I want to highlight a couple of things on this play. I mean, number one, as we get deeper into the play here, I'm going to ask you who's open because there's not a lot, but I also love the pressure that the Steelers get here. They bring this looper around in Nick Herbig and they get pretty immediate pressure. Like if you watch this play out, that pocket's getting pressed. And if you're Joe Flacco, this is not a very clean pocket. TJ Watt also beats his guy, pretty cleanly off the edge here with that dip and rip move, a little bit of a ghost move here, that move that TJ Watt's famous for. This is a very muddy throw, and here's where Flacco has to release it. Here's he's starting his throwing motion right here, right? So that arm's coming back, starting his throwing motion. Where would you like him to throw this ball? I mean, this is locked up here. Jamar Chase is actually coming back to the inside. He has Echols a little bit off balance, but probably a little too early to throw this yet. This is not open. So T. Higgins is the only white jersey kind of flashing here. But this guy again, Kyle Duggar, huge pickup at the deadline for the Steelers, is just in the exact right place at the right time. And if we let this roll out a little bit, love Joey Porter's reaction down here to the pick, but we let this roll a little bit, the big play on this also is from Nick Herbig. He gets this block downfield. So not only does he get the immediate pressure, but then he gets this block downfield, finishes with kind of a pancake, looks like, Samples trying to get a little bit of a holding call here, see if he can salvage the play so at least it's not a pick six. But beautiful play by the Steelers defense, and in general, just a much better performance in this Week 11 game versus Week 7. Lots of adjustments made. Love Kyle Duggar and Jalen Ramsey at deep safety. Love the use of Nick Herbig in the 3 linebacker sets. And love James Pierre coming out and just sticking to people in any kind of coverage. Off the Edge is a Life in the Stands production. We really appreciate all the support and you watching. And until next time, defense!